would like to remove and sort of reduce that risk, right? But Euro Swiss franc has still been moving decently well. AUD Swiss franc just waiting, right now pretty flat to a little bit of a small little loss here. We'll see, but as you can see, we did get a little bit of pullbacks before continuation, but Euro Swiss franc has been the one that has been doing pretty nicely for me here. You can see I got my original position right here and my scaling right here. So what is the plan, right? So for me personally, I'm just gonna let this do whatever it wants. I already have my stop loss trail. Essentially, if this doesn't work, then I'll just be losing one trade because the other one will be relatively break even. But if this does move higher, then what I'll probably do is start to move up my trail, start to increase my or move up my trading stop loss, and then just see how it does from there, right? So it will be something like this. Let's say if we do take out this high, then I'll start to move my stop loss here, and in an ideal situation, if it can pull back and then continue higher, then I'll start to just trail my stops as I go. So that's how I'm going to be doing it. That's how I get those decent runs, and of course there will be situations where you might have to give up some gains, but more or less everything is pretty controlled at this point. Okay, so we want to see if we can continue higher here, and we would like to capitalize on that move because I think there's a lot of possibility for continuation, which I'll get into in a little bit. I want to also mention that one thing that is a little bit of a negative sign, I would say, is the on-balance volume indicator right here. So what we can see is that as price is moving higher, the OBV is actually diverging away. So I don't really like that because that means as price is moving higher, we're actually getting weaker and weaker volume as we go, and we want to see that volume strength. NFP tomorrow, right? So that's going to be really important. I don't think it will push or affect my trade too much, but of course I think if we do get some weaker NFP numbers, I think that would drive my trade a lot higher in my opinion, because Swiss franc is obviously more of a safe haven, it kind of would say, but I want to do kind of go over a little bit of the fundamentals, right? What we can see is that we are getting some weakness coming in the euro. You can see services PMI, or not services PMI, but manufacturing PMI coming in modestly soft, but not really a huge sign, still above 50, which still shows relatively decent strength there. Retail sales did come in weaker than expected, right, with a surprise of 0.40, so that's not great for the euro. You can see inflation also came in for PPI, came in pretty much at forecast, so we're not really seeing any acceleration, but still relatively elevated. Yeah, so those are the most recent ones, and I think that kind of brought the euro a little bit more pressure, but ultimately we are trading the interest rate differential here. I think euro still has a little bit more yielding factor. Swiss franc really doesn't have a lot of move.